Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing up the Madden cheese. Always got some plays for you today out of the Seahawks playbook. I'm spending a little bit of time in this book this week because I used it in a Draft Champions and I forgot how good this playbook is. I mean, this is a really good formation. I'm going to show some more pass plays, most likely anyway, down the line out of the gun bunch TE. If you want to see that, make sure you hit the like button. But that's the next formation that I really plan on doing. This formation, you guys probably know it. If you follow my channel, you should know this formation from the Panthers. This was one of my favorite plays last year. It was one of my favorite plays when the year started as well. But ultimately, one of the patches came out and really damaged my favorite play, which is the verticals. The verticals play out of this formation literally beat just about every defense. And I got to be honest, I saw it coming. I really thought that when this year's Madden dropped, I thought this play would be gone because this was such a broken play that I thought they would either delete it or move it to one of the custom. Like typically they'll move it to like an alternate playbook, and then it'll just nobody will ever know it exists ever again because most people don't use alternate playbooks. Quite a few people do, but for the most part, they're much lesser used. The plays aren't even available in custom books as far as I know. So if they were to move this formation to one of those, it would be pretty much gone forever. So I fully anticipate that to happen at some point in time. The gun empty bunch will be gone. So make sure that you use it before they do, because like I said, this is a really broken formation. And I'm going to show you some really good plays from it today, as well as trying to get the verticals play. I'm going to show you some plays that are ways that you can make the verticals play work again at a high level. It's still a really good play. You just have to make one or two new adjustments. Before I start the video though, I just want to thank my new sponsors at MMOXP.com. If you guys are looking to buy some coins for your MUT team, you can do that there, and you can support me by supporting them and buying your coins through them. And make sure to use discount code MONEYSHOT so they know that you came from my site, from my channel. Other than that, let's get into the video. So, when this game dropped and before the patches happened, one of my favorite things to do last year is if I saw you in a cover 3, I would motion this guy out, and then I would basically you just hit the B route underneath. It still kind of works, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to see this ball float out of bounds. It's how they designed it. It's not a glitch. It's not a bad throw. Even if I move the ball all the way over to the other side of the field, it's still going to happen. So like I said, I'll go ahead and motion this guy out. We'll go ahead and we'll do that one more time. I think motion snapping is pretty good, but you can see still a really inaccurate pass. You can see the inaccurate quick throw text underneath. So there's a couple things you can do. I mean, basically that you kind of lose that part of the play, but there's still a lot of things in this play that work really well. So if you have a cover 3, if you have a cover 4, and you have a really high accuracy quarterback, this still works to an extent. You can see I'm motion snapping and right there. Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, that's a horrible thing. I've seen way worse. Like I said, when the game first came out, if you have a really inaccurate quarterback, you can get some really bad animations. But like I said, you can still try that from time to time. But ultimately, I'm just showing you guys one of the many ways that they patched this play. Now, one of the things that still really works is the running back. If you got a cover 3, the running back, a lot of times you can see right there, it's a much tighter window than it was in the past. I mean, this safety kind of drops. I'll go to the replay real quick. This is an old trick. You can use this in just about anything, any gun bunch, any bunch empty. But you can see even here in this cover 3 look, this coverage does a much better job. Like I said, you can see right here, he comes back and hesitates. He's taking that away. I mean, if I don't throw that, his job is the flats, and he'll eventually go to that to try to take away that throwing lane. But if I throw it too early, if I got pressure and I got to force it, he's right there, which will either knock the ball out or make a play on the ball. But ultimately, you still have that window. The seam will still get open in that window. So that's still a decent cover 3 play, but it's still not as good as it used to be. I find now that whether it's cover 3, cover 2, whatever, one of the better things to do if you have a receiving back, and I really don't right now, I should put Rashad Penny in, I'll do that in a minute, but if you streak Carson, I find that that's the best way, especially against cover 2. Streaking him now rather than just letting him doing the route that he was doing, I find still works in cover 3, and it'll also have success if it's a cover 2 play. Now, I find that motioning in Lockett here is a pretty good play, and I also find that putting him on a drag is a pretty good play. If I can streak him as well, I mean, if it's a cover 3, I can always try to beat those seams right up the middle, because ultimately I'm trying to get Carson here the play. Like, he becomes the play now in cover 3 on that streak. I'm going to go ahead and change him out quick. The only thing about doing it this way against cover 3, with Procise being the target, is I find a lot of times he can really get bumped off of his route. Like I said, right here, if he doesn't get a good acceleration off the line, he can basically be an issue going down the field. But you can see he still finds the seam in the cover 3. So you can be really consistent by motioning out Gordon. That will pull that cornerback outside, which is ultimately the play anyway. And then you can see right there, I mean, I really have a good lane. Had a little bit more speed, I might be gone up this seam. So now that they've patched this play as best they can, all you really have to do is streak this RB route, and you're going to see how it has a lot of success. Like I said, right there, he comes out really slow, like he's getting bumped off. I notice that happens quite a bit online, but it still works out. You just have to, sometimes you might have to change your read based off of that look. Like I said, right here, he's just coming out of it slow. It will happen, but you can see, I mean, it's obviously still a really explosive play and still really successful. Another thing that I think that is really important to change, you can run it as is, but you really have to turn that slant into a drag. I mean, I think the drag is really the way to go. So right here, like I said, we can run it the exact same way. This is another variation that I find is very successful, is dragging that slot receiver. So I'll do that one time without that. Watch what happens. Basically, he recognizes there's going to be a slant, and you see how he just hangs around. Same look. You know what I mean? Changing it to a drag is what creates the opening for this receiver. So you can see they don't really patch defenses. They basically just program a play. If a play is really broken online, they'll basically program the defense to react to it when they see it. It's that simple. That's basically what they do in EA. They don't really fix plays. So like I said, there's a lot of options on this play. It's still a really good play. Another option I like doing this flat right here. If it's a cover 3, a lot of times that flat will get open for an easy catch and run. I think an out route's really good in that scenario. So like I said, still a really successful play. There's a lot of weird things you can do with it too. I've noticed that if I motion over Hollister, I can do the exact same look with the streak. And if I motion over Hollister, it gives me another really good option on the outside here. You can see right here, he just beats to the corner. Like I said, a lot of different cover 3 variations that you can use. I like motioning over Hollister. I just don't think that he's necessarily fast enough to run this. But I mean, if like I have Evan Ingram on my MUT team, he's a 90 speed player. You can see how there's space. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. This is a 30+ yard play pretty much every time. So this was a play. This didn't work against cover 2 last year. That was the easiest way to counter this play. But this year, it works pretty well against cover 2. So all I'm going to do if I'm in a cover 2 look is the exact same setup with the streak and the drag. And now I have a play that can beat cover 2. It's really that simple. Like I said, you just need to pull that safety back a little bit more. Because if I run it as is, that safety is going to get over there because he's just too close now. So like I said, right here, he's going to get over, he's going to make a play. He might, sometimes you might catch those, but I can create a bigger space. So if you got a cover 2, same streak, I'm going to do that drag just to make that cornerback hesitate. Like I said, I'm motion snapping, but ultimately you can see much bigger space to make this a 30+ yard play against cover 2 as well. So you can see how this play can beat outside, but it's also a really good play right up the middle. Right here, that RB route is going to get right between those safeties. As you can see, I don't have the best protection because it's an empty backfield look, but you can see how that's going to be gone too. So really explosive plays. Even with the patch, these are all very explosive setups. All you just have to do is you have to get a little bit of time. Like I said right there, I have a mobile QB. Can't believe he didn't get gone there. Harrison Smith catches up to him, but you can see how this can be a very explosive play against, some of the most popular coverages. So like right here, like I said, I really should be safe catching it just to stay in balance. It's a tight window throw, but it's there. So let's go and let's move on to the next play. So the next play is a play that's been in my books for a long time. It's the wide curl. This is a very good play as well. Let's go and let's pick that. The first 2 series of plays I was showing against, specific coverages, but this is a pretty good play that you can read after the snap. Like I said, right here, I can motion across this guy, give myself a drag. The only reason I'm doing this is because a lot of times Hollister can shoot out into the flats. That's a good look where you can really steal some yards. Cover 3, cover 4, he's going to do that. Against cover 2, not so much. But it's something that you can look for. So I'm just streaking the RB route on this particular play. The reason I'm motioning across Gordon here is because this is a very similar setup that you'll see like in the PA wide receiver end. You have pretty much the exact same look on the other side. Here it looks like they just went with an all-out blitz. I'm not really sure what that was, but the streak there, it's going to pay dividends if that's not getting paid attention to right off the line of scrimmage, you can see. I find motioning him across makes him a pretty good check down on the drag, but if it's a cover 2, a lot of times you can just put him on a flat and he'll get open. Now this looks like a man coverage, which is really going to pay off to the Y route. As you can see right there, once again, wheel routes, very good man beaters. That was a man cover 0. It might have been a man cover 1. Doesn't really matter. We know that play works. Now if you motion this guy across and you find out that it's a man coverage, You could always block Procise. He's not, I mean, all he's really doing is pulling coverage back anyway, and sometimes he gets open right off the line, like right here. If it's a cover 2, I can get that inside release, and I can make a throw. But if you motion across and you sense a man blitz, he is the first guy to take away. So right here, I don't even have to make the motion. I know this is a man blitz, and I'm going to get my extra protection. Just going to go ahead, I'm going to hit this route right here. One of the beauties of this play for people that like to send man blitzes, they typically won't see that route coming. They'll think it's coming from the bunch side. A lot of people, when they see bunch formations and they run a lot of man coverage, they'll think that the blitz or the wheel route's going to be coming from that side. They don't really know about plays like this necessarily, where you can really hit them to the opposite side. So you really can catch them by surprise. They really won't be using that wheel route from the other side. So that's it. That's the vid. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end it there. If you guys want to see more plays from this formation, more plays from the Seahawks, do me a favor to like button. I'll do that next. Other than that, thanks for watching. MADDENMONEYSHOT out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.